You hear me, hands behind your head, face down, now to it, you bastard. You know, I never thought I'd hear words like that screamed at me on my own street, in my own neighborhood, where the loudest thing most afternoons is a squirrel dropping an acorn onto a car roof. But there it was, malice and violence boiling over in a kid's voice who hadn't lived half my years. That's how it started, that late autumn day in Chevy Chase, Maryland, the air crisp with leaves, sun dappling through the oaks, quiet everywhere until it wasn't. I just hit the end of my jog, not thinking about anything except the ache in my calves and the way the breeze carried the sharp, almost sweet smell of rain-soaked asphalt. Next thing I know, bang, I'm slammed down, chest to cold cobblestone, back screaming, teeth clenched so tight I could taste blood. Pain shot from my spine, right up into my shoulders, and some part of me wanted to yell, but you don't give these types the satisfaction. A knee, heavy and unrelenting, drilled into my lower back, grinding my chest deeper into the stones, while a pair of gloved hands snapped metal cuffs so tight around my wrist that I could feel the skin break. It wasn't my first time under pressure, but real humiliation hits different. The smell of old leaves, wet dust, and the tang of fresh asphalt fills your lungs. And you just know, right then, this isn't about protect and serve. So, picture this. I'm a black man in his 50s, average gray sweatsuit, New Balance sneakers worn thin but honest, out for a run like I'd done for nearly a decade in the same neighborhood, blending in, or so I'd thought, but to them, those young officers, none of that mattered. The driver, Peterson, could have been a college sophomore with that baby face and all the smugness of new authority. His partner, Miller, broader and meaner looking, just radiated contempt. "What are you doing here?" "Scoping out houses to rob." Miller sneered, pressing down, voice dripping suspicion. I try to keep it together, breathing, not fighting, remembering every lesson the Navy ever taught me about discipline, about never showing your real fear. Let me back up a sec before all this madness. My day had been as ordinary as can be. I just finished months at sea, the usual grind of commanding fleets, high-stakes exercises, classified orders, and suddenly I was home, breathing my own air, finally free to do something as simple as walk down Oakhaven Drive. No medals, no uniform, just Sam, the neighbor, the guy with a fondness for podcasts about old naval battles. That's all I wanted normal. The last thing I expected was trouble from anyone, let alone the people supposedly keeping the peace. But as I passed the last bend, this county cruiser screeched up, scattering a couple of dog walkers, and before I could even get my earbuds out, these two officers jumped out. "Stop right there." Peterson barked, like he was trying out for a cop show. "We got a report of a suspicious person," said. "Someone's been lurking here for hours." I said, "Officers, I live just over there, number 12. Been here almost 10 years. I even pointed to my place, red brick, garden a little too wild, nothing fancy." But Miller just gave me this look like I'd spat on his boots. "A man like you lives in that mansion," he snorted, loud enough for neighbors to hear. "Come on, maybe a gardener, maybe the help, but don't play me for a fool." Right there, you could feel raw, unfiltered racism, plain as day. My heart thudded, but I stayed steady. "Officer, if you need ID, I'll get it for you." You could tell that set something off. Peterson cut in, getting braver. "We ask the questions here. You answer. You got a record? Carrying drugs? Weapons?" The insults got uglier, louder. I said, "You got no cause to ask me that without evidence or a lawyer." Now their faces changed danger, but something else too, like they were desperate for me to give them a reason to escalate. And that's when Miller lost it, slammed both hands into my chest, nearly knocked the wind out of me. I staggered back, ready to snap, but somehow kept it together. "Hey, what are you doing?" I snapped. Enough was enough. "You want to play tough, guy?" Peterson jeered, and the two of them lunged, hands grabbing, feet sweeping my legs out. They wanted to fight. It gave them silence. So, back to that street, me face down, cold stone under my cheek, people staring, phones recording. "What's your name?" Peterson spat, his breath reeking of menthol and stale cigarettes. I let the silence hang. When I finally spoke, my voice was hard as steel. "You're being recorded from the cameras on your chest, from 5 or 6 more on these houses, by people I know. Everything you've done every racist word, every ounce of Forcius evidence. You will answer for this, believe me. That rattled them. For the first time, I saw their confidence waver. Who the hell do you think you are? Miller barked, but now his voice trembled. Some lawyer. I stared straight ahead. More than a lawyer. I suggest you call your supervisor right now before you dig yourselves deeper. That challenge hung in the air, and for a moment nobody moved, not even the wind. Peterson finally fumbled for his radio, hands shaking. Lieutenant Davis, this is Peterson. We got a situation to detain a man. Says his name's Samuel Adebayo. We need backup, sir. Silence. Then a shout on the other end, so loud we all heard it. What? Samuel Adebayo? You idiots. That's Rear Admiral Adebayo of the U.S. Navy. Nobody touches him, you hear me? Stay put, I am coming myself. And if there's a scratch on him, we're all done. You want to see two grown men's souls leave their bodies? Watch the color drain from their faces after a call like that. Suddenly, those big tough rookies looked like scared school kids who'd been caught setting fire to the gym. Miller stuttered. You really are? I just waited. 3 minutes later, sirens wailed, lights blazed, and a black SUV screeched to a stop. Out jumped the county sheriff himself, Michael Donovan, with the lieutenant scrambling behind him. The sheriff didn't even glance at those two, went straight to me. Rear Admiral. Sir, my God, what happened here? His face was a mix of shame and panic, sweat rolling down his forehead as he barked at his lieutenant. Davis, uncuff him now. As the cuffs came off, Donovan apologized, voice cracking. Sir, I am so sorry. This is unacceptable, and you have my word those officers will be dealt with harshly. He glared at Peterson and Miller, who stood frozen, about as dangerous as wilted lettuce. You two badges, weapons, hand them over. You're suspended, effective immediately, and under investigation. I watched them get stripped of everything right there on the curb, the same place they'd humiliated me minutes earlier. It was almost poetic. I turned to Donovan, still angry but tired. Sheriff, apologies are fine, but I want real change. I want your department to treat every citizen with respect, not just the ones with rank or a name you recognize. I'll be watching. He nodded, voice shaking. We will make this right. I promise. Word of what happened spread like wildfire. Media, Pentagon, Justice Department, even the White House called. Those officers were fired, charged, made into an example. The department got a full audit, new rules, new oversight, real reform, at least on paper. But, the scars don't heal that quick. I got my apology, sure. But I also got a reminder nobody, not even a rear admiral, is safe from ignorance, from bigotry in a country still wrestling with its own reflection. I could have stayed quiet, walked away, let it all fade. But that would have been an insult to every kid who doesn't have a name, every neighbor without the clout to call the cavalry. So I spoke up, pushed for change, because if not me, then who? Here's what I want to know. What would you have done? Should I have kept quiet? Or did I do the right thing speaking out, pushing back in the only way I could? Are new rules and firings enough to fix a problem this deep? Or is real justice something we have to fight for, over and over, in every street, every station, every small moment that matters? Let me know what you think, because this stormy story could be anyone's, and I want to hear your voice too.